What does it mean to life max? My definition of life maxing is to live a joyful and fulfilling life. So, at the top of my value hierarchy, the things that I do, the reason why I read the books that I read, the reasons why I think the things that I think, is all sort of trying to aim in towards this goal of living a joyful and fulfilling life. Right? This is why I kind of see through the illusion of like wanting to increase my body count. This is why I don't define my success based on how good I look, based on how much validation I get, based on how much women I can sleep with. So at the top of my value hierarchy, I'm kind of I'm thinking about, how do I achieve self-actualization? How do I become all that I can be? How can I make a positive impact on the world? How can I be 100 years old and leave this world with no regrets, and leave this world with a beautiful family, with a whole lineage behind me, with a beautiful wife that we've built a beautiful life with? How do I do that? And then the Looksmaxxers, and of course because most of them, they probably 16 to their early 20s, that's where the majority of Looksmaxxers reside. At the top of their value hierarchy is usually something like, how do I become as hot as possible? How do I get as much huzz as possible? How do I increase my body count? How do I fulfill my biological desires? And then I could, quell my insecurities. And this is sort of why I have a problem with the Looksmaxxing influencers, the black pill influencers, because they spread an ideology which is pretty damn empty. Plenty of Looksmaxxers and black pillars comment on my channel and they say, what the hell is he talking about? What is he on about? And the reason why they why they really struggle to comprehend what I'm saying is because they prioritize Looksmaxxing and getting and increasing their body count so much that they can't see what I'm saying, because they haven't acquired wisdom to raise their perspective. And this is why wisdom is so important, and why wisdom actually trumps intellect, because wisdom allows you to know where to put your intellect. It helps you to know what is worth it and what is not. Every human being just wants to be okay. The ego has evolved to constantly solve problems, to constantly seek status, just to protect itself. The ego is a survival mechanism. And you ask people, oh, why do you want a girlfriend? Oh, because it would make me feel happy. Oh, why do you want to feel happy? Oh, because I don't want to be sad anymore. Why do you want to be sad anymore? Because I want to feel okay. So the ego wants to feel okay, and that was said by Michael Allen Singer. He wrote a book called The Surrender Experiment. Amazing book, by the way. And this philosophy sort of aligns with Nietzsche's philosophy in his book Thus Spoke Zarathustra, where he says, all human behavior is driven by the will to power. So the ego just wants to climb the social hierarchy. It wants to self-actualize. Maslow's hierarchy. If you guys are at university, you do psychology or management or something, you'll learn about Maslow's hierarchy. Every human being wants to achieve self-actualization. Every human being, the ego, wants to live this joyful and fulfilling life. And the importance of wisdom is to know how to do that. What should I spend my time, what should I spend my time and energy on to live this joyful and fulfilling life? Should I prioritize Looksmaxxing and the accumulation of huzz to fulfill my insecurities, or should I try and see past that and think about, how do I build myself a beautiful and fulfilling life? Okay, two different things. So this is why I say that Looksmaxxing, I should be more specific, that obsessing over Looksmaxxing, getting surgery, obsessing over the way that you look in the mirror, is a very misguided thing based on a pretty grounded fact that human beings want to live a joyful and fulfilling life. Now there was this one like Looksmaxxing YouTuber that commented on my channel, and he obviously doesn't understand the message I'm trying to convey. And I checked his channel and I was reading like the comments on his videos, and like for one of them, the top red comment was, "I don't care how I'm going to do it, I'm going to die hot." So if we contrast these two ideologies, we can see like a Looksmaxxing ideology and like a ideology of self-actualization, or like joymaxxing, I'm gonna call it. One just wants to fulfill their insecurities and die hot. The other wants to be all that they can be. So when I die, I imagine myself in a big beautiful castle in which I have accrued. I've had like 7 children, they've all had their grandchildren. I've had a beautiful wife, which I've built a beautiful life with. And then they'll all be sad, and I'll just be like, it's okay, everybody, I'm just moving on to the next dimension. It's okay. It's okay. Very obviously, like, this ideology is a lot grander and a whole lot greater than just wanting to max out one stat on their character. And I'm sure like Looksmaxx's like red pillars will know about Homath. So on Homath's charts, he explains sort of the mechanism for attraction very, very well. I honestly think he's one of like the best thinkers in like the last 100 years. I think he's really smart. I think he's really onto it. And by his chart, you can see that body and like face, yes, it's a big portion, but it's only one portion. And then you've got your competence, your confidence, your masculinity. And why I look down on Looksmaxxing and black pillar influencers is because now there's 16-year-olds that have very poor self-esteem, that's a little bit ugly. They see it and they literally think that their life is over. They think, what's the point? I'll just goon all day. I'll become more chronically online, and then they'll become more poorly socially calibrated. And then they think society has rejected them because they're so ugly, and they discount the fact that they're chronically online and thus have become more poorly socially calibrated. And the cycle literally continues. And like, so much of the ailments and the mental illnesses which seem to only exist in Western society have come from the computer. They have come from the Black Mirror, from the phone. Do you guys know that the TV show Black Mirror? Do you know why it's called Black Mirror? Do you see what I'm saying? Seriously, do any of these mental illnesses and problems exist in an African tribe? No. No, they don't. Is what I'm saying is facts? Are there any black pillars watching my channel, or like strong Looksmaxxers? Show me a black pillar that loves God, that's interested in spirituality, that will read the kind of books that I like to read. A lot of the Looksmaxxers, they place Looksmaxxing at the top of their value hierarchy because they're insecure, and it's because of that insecurity they are misled. But and to everybody watching this, it is absolutely your best prerogative and your highest return on investment to actually ease those insecurities, to learn how to heal those insecurities. Because if you follow your insecurities and you just try to fix them and fill them up, you could end up 50 years old with a wife that doesn't even respect you, and you're gonna be thinking, fuck, where'd I go wrong? And this reminds me a lot of like red pillars and pickup artists. So I read a book called The Game by Neil Strauss, which is a book about pickup artistry. I wanted to know, because that the whole pickup artist thing is very glamorous. It's very an appealing thing to learn how to go out to a bar and just pick up women, get numbers like that. And you know, the book does teach you the game and how to do it. It shows you the techniques. But at the end of the book, the author sort of warns the reader, and he's taking a look at the pickup artists who are now like 40, 50 years old. That they have a wife, and he's like, they seem really unhappy. The pickup artist's wife doesn't seem to respect them, and he seems like there's something going wrong. So, like a lot of people, they will learn pickup artistry to find a girlfriend and to have a fulfilling relationship. You know, because all human beings want to achieve self-actualization and be joyful and just be okay, just feel okay inside. And you know, those pickup artists had the idea that they could do that by going out on the town every night, getting drunk and picking up women. And this reminds me of a comment I had quite a while ago. It was a really, really funny comment. I'm gonna read it out to you guys. Oh, this guy, man. This guy made the comment, just because you're a model doesn't actually mean you're very handsome, by the way. Your face is only slightly above average among lean and fit people. I personally get treated incredibly different when I go out to clubs, especially when I wear 5cm platforms, because I'm only 5'10.5" otherwise. Basically, what I'm trying to say is I get the huzz. You do not get the huzz. And the amount of huzz which I get when I wear my 5cm platforms is a lot more huzz than you get, because what I'm trying to say here is when I wear my 5cm platform shoes, I get the huzz. The huzz wants to talk to me. The huzz doesn't want to talk to you because you are not Looksmaxxed. Now, do I have a girlfriend? Probably not, because I don't get any huzz, because I'm an idiot. Have I made my point here? I think I've made my point here, haven't I? What else can I say here? Guys? So, like, to conclude this point, and I think I do need to become a lot more specific with the words I say, guys. This is like, I've only like taken YouTube like a lot more seriously until about 2 months ago. So, go to Looksmaxxing to be pretty and to care about beauty. It's an important thing. I value beauty. I like to make sure I look good. I even like to make sure that my background looks good, because I like to be amongst beautiful things. But the point is, when you obsess over Looksmaxxing, when getting a huzz is all you care about, it's a response to deep insecurity. And if you're a mock nose, you probably have deep insecurity, which you need to heal. Trust me, you'll be far better off working on those things. How do you work on those things? Journaling, reading books, meditating, praying, therapy, anything. So, yeah guys, I think the thing to do here is to introspect. What are you placing at the top of your value hierarchy? And the reason why I know that Looksmaxxing is a waste of time is because I have spent a lot of time accumulating wisdom. Because wisdom is perspective. Wisdom helps you know where to put your intellect, where to put your time and your energy, so you don't waste it. Okay? Yeah guys, subscribe. I really appreciate all of the comments. I basically make these videos in response to the comments anyways. And if any Looksmaxxers and black pillars want to challenge my beliefs and my opinions, leave your thoughts below. That's fine. And you know, there's been like a few Looksmaxxing people that try to challenge me in my opinions and that. And I don't think they'll ever beat me, because they have built their worldview on a shaky foundation. And it doesn't matter how much intellect they have or how much intellect they think they have, if they don't have the wisdom to help guide it, then there's just... That's that. Okay, thank you guys for watching. Subscribe. Love you all. Bye.